From the Jethro's Barbecue Studio, I'm Justin Brady. Real Iowans, real talk, no drama. That's what this show's about. Did you hear, by the way? Iowa is being commemorated by a brand new coin released by the U.S. Mint. That just happened this week. And the person on the coin you're probably familiar with, but you're also probably not familiar with. It's Dr. Norman Borlaug. He's a big name in Iowa. A lot of people have heard, but very few, as I've come to realize, of course, living here for many decades, very few know what he did and know why his contribution was significant. And to go over that today, Mashal Husain, the president of the World Food Prize, joins us. And yes, I will connect those dots for you. Mashal, good to see you again.
Hello. Well, thank you for having me back.
Absolutely. First time I met Mashal was on a on-location thing special we did with the World Food Prize. So thank you for your partnership in that. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
It was so
Thank
cool.
you.
What an honor to do that. Before we get started, everybody, barbecue is incredible. We love barbecue. Go to iowapodcast.com. If you want if you want free barbecue, $30 gift card for free, go to iowapodcast.com, click the little Jethro thing, buy a $100 gift card, and Jethro's will just give you a $30 gift card. So don't forget to do that. Mashal, what is up with the coin?
Yeah.
It just popped on my radar this week. It's super cool. And of course, it features Dr. Norman Borlaug. We're going to get into who that is and why he matters to Iowa. But first, what do we know about this coin?
I am so glad you asked, and I'm ready to tell you all about it. So this is the 2026 Iowa Innovation Dollar, and it's meant to celebrate invention and innovation. And this is the 29th issue of the American Innovation Dollar by the U.S. Mint.
Oh.
Yes. So in 2026, just yesterday, as you indicated, 4 American Innovation Dollars were released.
Oh, there are 4.
4. In 4 states. And these are $1 U.S. coins.
Mm-hmm.
And the states that they were released in were Minnesota, Wisconsin, California, and our great state of Iowa.
Wow. A
Yes.
lot of Midwest representation
Absolutely.
there, too.
So each dollar coin has its own symbolic representation from that state of innovation and invention. So, for example, the California coin has an image of a young Steve Jobs.
Mm.
And inscribed on the top of that coin is something like, make something wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And on our Iowa dollar coin is an image of Dr. Norman Borlaug. And inscribed on the top of our Iowa coin is Father of the Green Revolution. And in this image of Norman Borlaug, he's wearing his iconic hat that he wore in the fields of Sonora, Mexico, in the farmlands of Punjab, in India, and in Pakistan as he was fighting mass famine and starvation. And in his hands are bushels of wheat. So here's what I want to share with you about Dr. Norman Borlaug. He's known as the man who saved more than 1 billion lives. He developed high-yielding, disease-resistant wheat that prompted the Green Revolution, that increased food production, that really assisted in fighting mass famine and starvation in countries like India and Pakistan in the mid-1960s. He believed in the notion of science in service for humanity, understanding that you have to use agriculture and agricultural innovation to help the world's most vulnerable people.
Yeah, and he took, I think a lot of people tend to think that he took this small, he was a tiny little part of not ending hunger, but he was this tiny part that helped eradicate hunger in some countries a little bit. The like you said, 1 billion people. This is they've now credited him with saving 1 billion lives.
Yes.
Because he was able to innovate. Now, we won't get into the science nerdy stuff. Maybe that's another episode, but he was able to innovate how wheat grew, basically, to oversimplify things, so that it could be grown in more regions and more people were fed. And the impact he had was incredible. So let's get into that a little bit. Who was this guy?
Yeah, so let me share more with you.
Yeah, please.
He was a guy who believed in peace through food. Peace through food. Realizing where there is hunger, there is conflict and instability, right? So he's one of only a handful of people in the world who have received 3 rare distinctions. The Nobel Peace Prize in 1970, the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1977, I believe, the Congressional Gold Medal in 2007. And I think he was 93 years old when he received it.
Goodness.
Because in 2009, he passed away at the age of 95 or 96. And let me share with you who are the other people in our world, in our global arena, who have received all 3 of these rare distinctions. Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, Elie Wiesel, the Holocaust survivor, Desmond Tutu, and the Dalai Lama. And so here is this Iowa farm boy from Cresco, Iowa, who is one of these individuals who has received these rare distinctions. And he's played such an integral role in not only addressing food security, hunger alleviation, poverty alleviation, but fostering peace in the world.
Yeah, and Dr. Norman Borlaug, Nelson Mandela, of course. I mean, a bunch of big names, and I think Iowans just don't understand.
Yeah.
We were talking about this in the elevator on the way up to the studio, that a lot of Iowans have heard the name, but they don't understand. And I think when we hear local names and local heroes, we're kind of like, in the back of our mind, we're like, well, that's kind of a rah-rah local thing. But when you get out of the state and when you get out of the country, he's probably not that big of a deal, but he absolutely is.
He absolutely is. He is highly revered
all
over the world. When our team was in Mexico last year, launching Dialogue Next in Mexico, which is one of our signature programs at the World Food Prize Foundation. When we were in India with Dialogue Next in India in 2025, he is highly revered all over the world. And, we're so proud that Iowa was his home. Norman Borlaug represents the best of who we are and what we stand for. He was born and raised on an Iowa farm in northwest Iowa, in Cresco, Iowa. He understood the value of hard work. He understood the importance of stewardship of the land. He understood the concept of responsibility to others. So these early life lessons prompted a lifelong understanding and embracing the notion of using agriculture as a force for good in the world.
So let's talk about broadly, without getting into the sciencey things. Like I said, we'll probably do maybe a sciencey deep dive in the future if y'all want to hear it. But broadly, what did he do with wheat? Like, there was a problem, I know, that was actually creating famine-like conditions. And he found a very simple way to solve that problem.
Yeah.
Can you just give people that 30,000-foot overview on what he did, what the innovation was?
So he created this shorter form of wheat where the stalk was shorter, the wheat wasn't collapsing, and there were more pods of seeds on the head of the wheat. And so creating those wheat varieties fundamentally changed the ability of more prosperous wheat in different parts of the world. And it started in Mexico. He was brought there in 1944 by the Rockefeller Foundation, and that's where he started growing these wheat varieties. And actually, in 1963, Mexico eventually, over time, started becoming a net exporter of wheat.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. And so one of the problems with the longer stalk,
Yes.
like that presented an agricultural problem in developing countries, right?
Yeah, because the wheat was collapsing.
Right. And so
Yes.
because they couldn't harvest it like quickly enough, like
Yeah.
they didn't have the
Yes.
machines and processes we have and we're blessed to have in the United States. So in developing countries, they didn't have the agricultural practices, so they couldn't harvest it as quickly. It would take more time. Fascinating. So one of the I think a lot of people, they understand now that he innovated in wheat. Obviously when you have something easier to grow and easier to harvest, that helps alleviate famine rather than just developing more here in the States and sending it everywhere, allowing it to be grown regionally, which cuts down on, it makes everything easier. I'm not going to go into the logistics of global supply chains today either. But what is the connection to the World Food Prize? Because some people are like, okay, World Food Prize, heard about it, cool. Dr. Norman Borlaug, cool. How are these things connected?
Yes. So Norman Borlaug founded the World Food Prize in 1986. Before that, he had gone to the Nobel Prize Committee and said that he wanted to create an arena for food and agriculture, recognizing people who are doing incredible work in the area of increasing the supply and availability of food in the world. And the Nobel Prize Committee said, well, this is not really in Alfred Nobel's will. We're not able to create a designation for food and agriculture. So that prompted his desire to create an award that recognized individuals who were doing more in food security. So he created the World Food Prize in 1986. The first recipient of the World Food Prize was in 1987, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan of India. Last year in 2025, we recognized the 56th World Food Prize laureate, Dr. Mariangela Hungria of Brazil, and you were there as a part of our Week of World Food Prize events. On March 25th, which is Norman Borlaug's birthday, we plan to announce the 57th recipient of the World Food Prize.
Wow.
And I want to invite people to come to the World Food Prize Hall of Laureates. It's called the Norman E. Borlaug Hall of Laureates. It used to be for 100 years the Des Moines Public Library.
Right, downtown Des Moines, yeah.
Absolutely, just a few blocks from here. And I want to invite Iowans to come and learn more about Norman Borlaug, the significant role that Iowa has played in food security, in global food security, and to learn more about Iowa's agricultural and humanitarian heroes. So we were so pleased to take this 100-year-old Iowa architectural treasure, is what I call it. It's a place on the National Register of Historic Places, and transform what used to be the Des Moines Public Library for 100 years and make it our global headquarters. And we welcome over 25,000 people to our Hall of Laureates. It's a public museum. It's a place of convening. It's an educational facility for people to come and learn about Dr. Norman Borlaug, about the history of agriculture, to learn about our 56 World Food Prize laureates who are an all-star team of hunger fighters from all over the world. By the way, I want to share with you that 2026, the release of this coin, the Iowa Innovation Dollar, is most fitting because this year, 2026, marks the 40th anniversary of the World Food Prize,
Right.
having been launched in 1986 by Dr. Norman Borlaug.
Now, I should ask, are you going to have any special coins on display in the Hall of Laureates in the near future?
We hope to.
Yeah, maybe.
We hope to.
Because hopefully we can get, because I know, isn't there like a mold of this coin or something? Maybe we can get them to, maybe we can get the U.S. Mint to send it over here and put it behind glass.
Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because these are
yeah.
sculpted.
Yeah.
I don't think people know that, but these are
Yes.
like sculpted by artists. I think
Yeah.
there were two involved. I couldn't tell you their names right now, but these aren't just like printed and machined or something. I mean, they're actually created by artists. So I wonder if we can get some of the original sculptures or something here. That'd be.
Well, we'll try our best.
Who can we call about this?
The Department of Treasury or the U.S. Mint, or we're so grateful to Governor Kim Reynolds for really selecting Norman Borlaug as the image on this Iowa Innovation Dollar.
Now hold up, I didn't know about this. The governor of each state picks the individual.
The governor plays a fundamental role.
Really?
In collaboration with the Secretary of Treasury.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I guess I didn't know how the process went, but
Yeah.
so.
And I'm just learning as I'm going along.
Absolutely. So that's absolutely fascinating. Like you said, 40 years, and we have discussed this in the past. But one thing that you told me, I think it was you, I'm pretty sure it was you, is that the Hall of Laureates and the annual gathering, when you guys give out a World Food Prize, it is a actual prize that's given out. It's essentially a mini UN gathering.
It truly is.
Like the who's who of people actually doing the work to eradicate global hunger come to Des Moines, Iowa.
Absolutely.
Like like I was there, and again, I've heard this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty informed.
Yeah.
I've done radio and news. I know about it, but not until I actually was there at the meeting, I was like, "This is incredible!
Yes.
I can't believe I'm here." And that happens annually. You have a lot of events, but of course that happens annually here.
Yeah. So I say that for a moment, Des Moines transforms into mini United Nations.
Yeah.
We welcome people here from close to 60 countries. And it's the who's who of people in the food security arena. So these are laureates, Nobel laureates, of course, World Food Prize laureates, scientists, policymakers, farmers. These are the doers who are out there entrenched in the work from many different angles, from cross-section of the food security arena, agribusiness leaders, ag tech innovators, startup organization finders. And they're coming to Des Moines, Iowa,
Yeah.
because that's where the others are.
Yeah.
And they find great value in the conversations that are taking place on the Borlaug Dialogue stage.
And we'll make sure to link to the other interview we did with you.
Yeah.
Because I got to interview several people who attended.
Very good.
And it wasn't just a bunch of heads of state. It was a soybean farmer. It was a startup guy from, I think, New Zealand originally, but like a startup tech guy. And then it was a former politician. And I'm just like, this is all over the map.
It's a cross-section.
Yeah.
Everyone is here. And this convening is not taking place in New York or D.C. or San Francisco. It's taking place in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
And we're really proud to call Iowa our global headquarters and our home.
The building itself, can we talk about that for just
Absolutely.
That
was my
is-
project.
That was your project?
That building
It's
is my baby.
Unreal.
So-
it is unreal.
I arrived at the World Food Prize in 2008. And I was recruited by a wonderful humanitarian, Iowan, Ambassador Ken Quinn, who was president at the time. And we discovered that he had been deputy ambassador in the Philippines in the mid-1980s as I was a little girl growing up in Manila, going to the international school there. And his kids and I were in school, at the same school, around the same time, had some of the same teachers. So here we were, meeting halfway around the world, 30 years later, in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I say that's why he hired me. So that's a long answer to your question. So I joined in 2008, and the timing was great because we were just about to embark on the fundraising and the restoration of the Des Moines Public Library.
Mm-hmm.
Ambassador Quinn was the visionary. I was his sidekick. Together, we raised over $30 million
Goodness.
To restore what will always be a City of Des Moines building. And we're very proud of that. And so we began the restoration in 2009. It was a 24-month project, and we unveiled the building in 2011 at the time of our 25th anniversary. And we preserved the historic integrity of the building, but yet gave it a new sense of purpose, a new identity for 100 years. So we have a 100-year lease on the building.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it is a City of Des Moines building, and we take great pride in maintaining it, in preserving it, keeping the lights on, welcoming the Iowa community to come and learn about Iowa's, as I said, Iowa's significant role in global food security, in agricultural and humanitarian, the role that they've played. Now, I want to say there's another element that I'm particularly proud of. We made the building LEED Platinum.
Oh, interesting.
As you may be aware, LEED is a measure of
Sustainability measure.
energy efficiency and conservation.
You made an old building LEED Platinum.
Absolutely. Now, there are
That's not
only
easy.
a handful of buildings, historic buildings, to achieve LEED Platinum status.
Really? And the World
Yes.
Food Prize building is one of them.
It's a national landmark.
Really?
Yes. Achieving LEED Platinum can be easier to do in a modern building.
Sure.
And we have a few of those even in downtown. I think the Wellmark building, I believe, is a LEED Platinum building.
Mm-hmm.
Very difficult to do in a historic building. So you can be simply LEED certified, you can be LEED silver, LEED gold,
Mm-hmm.
or LEED platinum. And so Ambassador Quinn and I were sitting around the table with the architects and pondering on this idea of LEED and very committed to the idea of energy efficiency, energy conservation, sustainability, and realized that we were kind of teetering on the edge of LEED silver and gold. And so here we were with the architects. RDG was our architect of record. Shout out to RDG.
Shout out to RDG right here in Des Moines.
Right here in downtown Des Moines.
Mm-hmm.
And, we thought, well, what's it going to take to be LEED Platinum? So it's basically, I think, a 60-point scale.
Goodness.
And we realized that, we could inch forward, and what could we do to get to that LEED Platinum status? So I want to share with you just a few components of this building.
So just for people listening later, we're talking about the Des Moines the Des Moines Public Library building in downtown Des Moines being converted to the World Food Prize, and the process to
Yes.
it looks absolutely gorgeous, but it's also LEED Platinum.
Yeah, it's about this project was about preserving historic integrity, working very closely with the State Historic Preservation Office. It was about, like I said, giving the building a new sense of purpose, a new identity as our global headquarters, and about making an old building LEED Platinum certified. So we have over 90 solar panels on our rooftop. We have 102 geothermal wells in what is now the garden, the John and Janice Ruan Garden. That is on the west side of the building. We have an 8,000 gallon cistern that collects rainwater runoff and that's used to flush the toilets and irrigate the gardens. We have energy efficient windows. We recreated elements of this historic building and took it back to what it used to be, how it was originally constructed back in 1903. So we reconstructed the entire east staircase as it used to be in the early 1900s. And so the thought was, well, where are we going to find stone that is a close match to the building in color and in tone, and to reconstruct that historic staircase just as it used to be back in the early 1900s. So we found old Minnesota Kasota stone used from old railroad bridges, unused railroad bridges in Minnesota, and brought that stone here to. These are all measures of sustainability. So we use that to reconstruct the stone. And I want to invite your guests, your audience.
Everybody should see this. It's something else.
Come to the Des Moines Public Library building, to our World Food Prize Hall of Laureates. Look at the stone. Look at the history. Walk into that east staircase. It still says City Library as you enter the rotunda.
It does? I didn't catch that.
Absolutely.
I didn't catch that.
We didn't want people to forget what this building was.
Its
purpose. It's what it stood for.
When you think about like a LEED Platinum or a sustainable building, you think of very modern, you think of steel, you think of glass, and we all kind of can picture what that looks like in our head. What you don't picture is a 100-year-old building. And so people hearing this might imagine that, we're going to get in there and all the old windows are going to be torn out. It's going to look ridiculous. It looks like a historical renovation project. It doesn't look LEED Platinum, if that makes any sense. It looks original.
Yeah.
And so that balancing act, from what I'm hearing, took a lot of research and work.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Absolutely. So there were, on any given day, 200 plus artisans working on different aspects of the buildings, whether it was restoring the old WPA murals that were in the children's section of the library building, or on the, original stained glass that overlooks the rotunda of the building. And so, I say this building is my baby. It's my second home. It's walking into a public museum every day.
And people in Iowa have many opportunities to get in there and check it out.
We're open to the community.
Yeah.
We're open to the community every Tuesday. We welcome Iowans to come and browse through. And frankly, if you want a private tour, reach out to me. I'd be happy to make it happen. We have a lot of private gatherings, civic and business, agribusiness, receptions, dinners, gatherings, weddings. We're quite a popular site.
Really? That's
for
a cool
weddings
idea.
to take place. Yeah, you can imagine the bride walking down this historic, magnificent staircase, and then in the center and the lit rotunda, the wedding ceremony taking place.
Yeah,
So,
and it's right on the Des Moines River.
right there.
It's
yes.
what is really incredible.
On the River Walk.
Yeah, on the River Walk. Last thoughts, Iowans that know, just to kind of put a end cap on this, the Iowans that know Dr. Borlaug know him as a local hero, which they should. But also, he's kind of a hero in Mexico too. You kind of alluded to this earlier. Isn't there like a statue of him somewhere down
Absolutely. There is a beautiful statue of him, and it's flanked by flags, 24 flags representing 24 countries, I believe, where he had the greatest impact. So, like I said, he's globally revered and recognized. Iowans should be very proud to know that he was an Iowa farm boy from Cresco, Iowa. And I've been to his home.
Have you really?
Many
cool.
times.
Yeah.
It's, you go down this gravel road and you see this very humble home, the one-room schoolhouse that he was educated in his early years. And it's almost spiritual to stand there and see the impact. Here we are in Cresco, Iowa, northwest Iowa, about 2.5, 3 hours from here. It's a spiritual moment to see this is where he started. And it's a reminder not only that Iowans have played such a critical role in addressing global food security, but every Iowan can continue to play a fundamental role. Iowa farmers are playing such an incredible role in agriculture and food security around the world.
Absolutely. Mashal Husain, the president of the World Food Prize, thank you for coming down and reminding us, or for many people who listen, actually telling us the background of who Dr. Norman Borlaug was and the absolutely incredible impact he had on the world, and the fact that he's a homeboy from Iowa, came right here.
Homeboy from Iowa, farm boy from Iowa.
That's right.
And I think I shared with you earlier that someone who'd lived all over the world for the first 26 years of my life, and now for the last 26 years of my life, Iowa is my home. I didn't even know who Norman Borlaug was until I came to the World Food Prize Foundation in 2008. But yet he had played such an incredible role in my country of heritage, in Pakistan, in the 1960s.
Incredible. Mashal, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, here's a wild thought. So if you or a loved one or a friend are hurt on the job, did you know a timer immediately starts? Yeah, there's a timer in which you have to notify your employer. There's also a time frame in which you have to file for workers' comp benefits. The whole thing's really confusing. So I asked workers' rights attorney Nate Bolton of Hedberg and Bolton to come in here and break the whole thing down under 20 minutes for free, something you can watch on your phone right now. If you want to see the conversation, it's really easy. Go to iowapodcast.com/Nate. That's the short URL to make it easy. iowapodcast.com/Nate. If you want to skip the whole thing, you just want to call him, you just want to reach out directly, that's cool. Go to workerslawyers.com. Again, that's workerslawyers.com, and he'll straight up give you a free consult. That's pretty cool. And to my fellow Iowans, Iowa expats, and Iowans at heart, thanks for listening and subscribing to the Iowa Podcast.